Jim Norton is not a doctor. He's not an expert. He's not even a good person. The views, opinions, advice, and humor of Jim Norton does not reflect those of any doctor, of SiriusXM, of Opie Radio, or anyone else. They are solely those of Jim Norton, Lyle Chipperson, Edgar Mellencamp, Paul Hargis, and whoever else lives in that chinless head of his. If any of this advice goes wrong, you are the asshole who called a comedian instead of a doctor.
An icon in comedy, a fighter for freedoms, an accomplished entertainer, and a pervert. You've got problems, he's got problems. You've got questions, he's got answers, some of which are good. Call now, 866-WOW-1-WOW. That's 866-969-1969. This is the Jim Norton Show.
This is probably as close as I've come to not making my own stupid show. I've been moving boxes into this apartment as I've been talking about my ongoing moving, and it's just a nightmare to get all this stuff situated, and you know your whole life has to be moved. And again, it's fine, but it's a pain in the ass. So I called Verizon Fios today to try to get, they moved my service, and they said we can't get there before June 10th or June 11th. And I didn't know they were on strike. Now that makes sense. So now I have to go back to Time Warner, because I can't go a month without cable or the internet. Like the cable I could probably do without and just watch HBO Go. But the internet, I mean, what am I supposed to jerk off to? My memories? What do they want me to do? That's what I wanted to say to the guy. How do you want me to jerk off with no internet, sir? But you can't say that. So I have to say, like, well, I got business I have to conduct. You know, you always have to throw it in like it's a work issue. But there's really not much work I do that I can't do without internet. You know, maybe to check Travis's emails the night before we get our news stories, but I can just check my phone. It's all the jerking off. So I wanted to say, sir, I cannot wait because I must jerk off. And, you know, I don't think that would have flown. So I just called. That's how you know you enjoy jerking off, when you switch providers so you don't have to wait. I actually switched internet providers. So hopefully we'll see how it goes with Time Warner. I mean, they were so shitty the last time I had them. We'll see. I get to try something for a month now. I have no choice. But it's coming along well. You know, my tour's about to end. At least the first leg of it is. So the money is running out soon. So I'm really hoping that the bleeding stops with this, because I've never been this nervous financially. I'm just not. You know, I'm usually okay, and I set things up smart, and you know, I make sure I have something. But I'm just really panicking about this being done on time. But I walked through today. It actually looks like a place to live now. It's just not. And it's amazing. No matter what you do, you doubt it. Like, oh, why did I do that to it? I got talked into putting wallpaper on one of the walls. I've never done wallpaper, but the woman that's helping me said, "Oh no, it will look good." All right, Dave in New Hampshire. What's up, Dave?
Good afternoon, Jimmy. Hey, a quick suggestion on the internet. You probably don't want to do it because of your privacy. Just make friends with your neighbor and slip them $50 each month, and you know, tap off of their internet.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Well, that wouldn't affect my privacy. I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, if they do a search or something, you know, if they really want to get down and dirty and be like, oh, what's this guy really looking at? You know what I mean?
Oh, that's all right. I would just tell them. But yeah, I hopefully I'll just get Time Warner for a month and see how that goes.
The worst. By the way, great show in Burlington, Vermont. How'd you like it way up north?
I loved it. You know, it's funny. It's the first time I've ever been there.
Yep.
And the crowd was just amazing. So yeah, it was really, really enjoyable.
Awesome. Thank you very much for coming up there. I really appreciate seeing you up there. My question to you is, I am over 100 days sober. I just started going to AA in the middle of January, and I've been telling some friends about it who also, I think, have problems, but I haven't sort of mentioned it to them. And now all of a sudden it's like they want to jump on the bandwagon and come with me to meetings because they think they have a problem. And so far it's been about 5 or 6, and out of those 5 or 6, like 3 of them have slipped. So, you know, I'm trying to tell them in a nice way, hey, this ain't a party that I'm inviting you to as a guest. It's something that I sort of take seriously. And I know that you don't really go to meetings or anything like that, but, you know, I don't want to walk in there because I kind of live in a small community and see people getting their 24-hour chip over and over again. And,
no, I do
everybody
go to meetings. I don't go to as many as I should, but I absolutely attend the program, I should say. But look, man, whenever you don't, whatever they do is their business. Like if someone says, hey, I would like you to help me, whatever you're doing to stay sober, if someone asks you to help them, like why not? The best case scenario is it actually sticks and they maybe didn't mean for it to, and then all of a sudden their life changes. Or if they go back out, like you said, it will just teach you what not to do. So you're going to be helped either way. You're either going to help them, or them fucking up is just going to teach you what not to do. So I don't think it's ever a bad thing, as long as they're not acting like fools in the meeting or distracting you or being idiots. No,
it's not that. And I feel fine with that on my end. I just don't want to feel the embarrassment on their part and stuff like that. And I know it's anonymous and everything, but, feelings and emotions and, friends that I've had for 10 years and all of a sudden they admit it because they think that I'm doing a good thing. It's like, yeah, I can help myself and I can help you a little bit, but, don't jump on the wagon with me if you're not going to commit to it.
Well, they don't have to commit to it. That's not, you know what I mean? That's not for us to decide. When someone says they want to come, they don't have to do it the way we think they should do it. Again, as long as they're not doing anything that's detrimental or hurtful to you. But look, man, if somebody wants to try to get sober or whatever they want to do to help them, what the fuck? Like the worst that can happen is so what? A little bit of embarrassment. But the payoff could be that you actually help somebody, and their life changes. So I think it's a win-win, man. And, as long as it's not someone fucking up and distracting you, okay?
Yep. Hey, Jimmy, do you ever go to meetings on the road?
I don't as much because usually I'm in and out of towns very, very fast. Only when I'm in LA because I'm usually there for a couple of days. But usually I'm in and out of town and I have a show at night, so it's rare that I do that.
Okay. I want to tell your listeners, though, it definitely works and you make lifelong friendships and you're clean, you're sober, and you feel good. I feel re-energized every time I step out the door after a meeting.
All right, cool, man. I'm really happy to hear that. Good luck, Dave.
Thank you. Take care.
Righty. Take care. Let's see here. Scott in California.
Hi, Jim.
Hi, Scott.
Hey, man. Sorry, I'm a little nervous being on the radio right now.
As you should be, talking to a radio star of my ilk. I'm kidding. What's happening?
So I've been in a relationship with a woman for about 7 years, on and off. And I constantly think about leaving her, and I have in the past, but I have this mental drive to just always come back to her, even though I know it's going to be horrible and I know we're going to fight and I know the love is pretty much gone from this relationship.
Okay. So what is it that brings you back? And are you mentally abusive to each other or is it more her? I
think it's more me fused to her.
Oh, okay. You're abused to her. Cool. At least you're honest.
No. I mean, I said fused. Abused, it's a little bit of both.
Abused by her. Okay. So how long have you been with her? I'm sorry.
Since 2009.
So what is it that draws you back? Sometimes, I get comfortable and other people get comfortable in miserable situations. Like you get, like they say, a misshapen pleasure out of feeling pain or uncomfortability or whatever it is. So maybe you're addicted to feeling shitty too. I've certainly done that.
That makes sense. I find myself just not feeling too happy, and I feel like she doesn't really give me any of that anymore, and it's just weird. I think maybe I'm a little territorial with her. I know this sounds kind of weird, but like we'll break up and she'll go fuck other guys, and a couple months later we'll meet up, and I'm just like, well, I guess I have to get over you fucking these other guys, because I'll be honest with you, Jim, I've only been with about 4 women in my life.
Well, it's one of those things where you don't want to get caught in the if I can't have you, no one should. Now, I don't think you're stalkerish or dangerous, but I mean, it's like we do get possessive like that. I've certainly been guilty of it, where all of a sudden we see that person with someone else and we're like, oh my God, I can't. It becomes real that it's over. And you know what? It's okay that it's over because, the best way to look at it is good. Let them deal with her now. She's their problem. Like, sometimes when I look at people I've dated, some of them are really nice girls. Most of them are actually okay. Usually I'm the problem. But, whatever the issues with us are at the moment, if we break up, now someone else has to deal with her part of it. So let it go, man. If it's been fucking on and off and it's just shitty, you move on, you hurt a little, and then you don't hurt anymore.
Yeah, I guess a lot of it has to do with my, I'm a little fearful of dying alone, but I guess I need to get over that too, huh?
Oh, yeah. Every girl I've ever broken up with told me I was going to die alone. And they're probably right. You know, it's funny. One of my ex-girlfriends is getting married. And I've had to deal with that once before. And I can tell you, when we first broke up, I would have been so jealous or crazy. But I'm like legitimately happy for her. Like, you know, that's when enough time goes by and you realize, like, hey, she was nicer in the relationship than I was. I fucked up a lot. And I'm happy that this person is still friends with me on any level. Then you start to wish them well and you want them to meet nice people and have a good life and whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it's like sometimes you got to change the way you look at it. Not, I'm losing, someone else has her. But like, hey, she and I didn't work. I was a big part of why we didn't work. Maybe you're a big part of why you guys don't work. So let her move on and find another. Florentine would always tell me that. Like, I would get so crazy about girlfriends breaking up with me and all that stuff. And he'd be like, come on, man, you're a horrible boyfriend. You know, and he would just make fun of me. And he'd be like, let her find someone nice and move on. You know, and he'd be right. So, you know, man, maybe you realize you're part of the problem too, and let her just find a nice guy and be happy.
Okay. I'll try to do that. I think I'm sorry, I hope I'm not taking up too much of your time. I just had one more little tidbit I wanted to add on there.
Sure.
I think another part of my jealousy has to do with she recently moved out, and I'm kind of still living at home. And I guess I feel a little jealous that she's doing better than me. And I know that's kind of fucked up too, but it's something else I've had trouble getting over.
Well, you know, it's funny. You don't want her doing worse than you because then you're going to have to play the rescuer. And then all of a sudden, who the fuck needs that? Who needs to rescue someone that's not doing well? And then all of a sudden she comes back and she's nicer because she needs you to rescue her. But the same shit's going to happen. And then it's going to be like a double whammy fucking frying pan in the chin. So like, you know, it's always, let them move out. She's got her own grief to deal with. And plus you're in the house, so you got to be reminded like, oh, that's where I fucked her in the ass for the first time. You know, you're by the stove, or maybe you're looking in the foyer, and you're like, oh man, that's where I caught her texting my black friend, or whatever it is that happened in your relationship. You know, but you have all the memories because you're still in the house. You'll open it up and you'll see the soup she bought. Maybe one time you had the flu and you were shitting all over the sofa, and she went out and got you soup in a can, and you'll see it and go, ah, she was a good girl. Fuck her. Move on.
All right. Thank you, Jimmy. I appreciate it.
All right, Scott. Take care. Let's see here. Daryl in New York City. Well, this sounds like a good problem.
What's going on, Jimmy?
Hey, buddy.
Okay, Jimmy. First of all, I love you. Can't wait for you to come back to Lovely Live up in New York. You're like a, but I need your help. Mm-hmm. The situation is, Jimmy, at one time, a couple years ago, I was going through some stuff with my wife. We separated. Not divorced, just separated. And then I started seeing this B-list porn star. We hit it off. Everything was like damn near perfect. Met a family. And I was basically Captain Save-A-Ho. I was trying to get her to not leave the business, but not just really leave porn, but balance her checkbook, learn to be responsible with her life. Yeah. She fell in love with me, and I kind of fell in love with her too, Jimmy. I basically gave up on my wife, proposed to the porn star, and we were like doing a lot of great things together until one day, you know, I couldn't deal with her, you know, being in porn. So she was going to leave the business, but we were fighting constantly. And then eventually we broke up. Sure. And I got back with my wife, which I'm happy. Honestly, Jimmy, I'm never been as happy. We've been in counseling, but the question is, it's been a while. And she's out of porn now, and I want to reach out to her and just say, how you doing? How's everything? What's going on? Because we were engaged. I met her family. I did so much. But I don't want to open up those can of worms. I don't want her to think that I want her back. And I damn sure don't want my wife, you know, feeling all this, because I'm going to be probably moving in with you or somebody because she's going to kick my ass out.
Well, you know, it's funny, man. I certainly get the attraction to wanting to reach out, but I always have to check why I'm doing something. And reaching out to a hot porn star who's now out of the business, like, yeah, I'm sure you're curious about how she's doing. I'm sure that's legitimate. But maybe there's something else to it. Maybe there's, like, deep down, just fucking testing those waters and going, fuck, man, now she's out of the business. This could be perfect. Let me just test those waters with a friendly phone call. You know, because you got to look at risk reward. Like, your wife would get really pissed off and fucking boot you if you contacted her.
Most definitely.
The only reward is, if you're telling the truth, The only reward, now you know how she's doing. Like, who cares? She hasn't reached out to you. So why don't you maybe just let it go? If that's what you want to do, sometimes you just got to let it go and be curious, and maybe you'll find out down the road, but it's not worth fucking up your marriage if you're really happy with your wife.
Yeah, because, Jimmy, I see her on Twitter, and she's doing, like, a lot of regular things, but I never really, what I'm basically saying is I never really ended it. We just separated, and I totally understand what you're saying, because I really I'm not going to lie to you, Jimmy. I still have feelings for her.
Of course, I know.
Still do.
Sure.
I don't want to mess up what I have, because they always say it's better to know what you have in one hand than know what you have in the other. And I know what I have. I'm stable, and I don't, but I'll be off air. I can tell you what's her name, and you can, like, she's still beautiful.
Tell this phone screener after we get off the air, hang on and let him tell you who she is. But right. I would just suggest, like, at least you know that you still have feelings for her. So this whole reaching out just to see how she's doing is basically a smokescreen for, I'm still attracted to her and I want to see if there's still a shot before she gets wifed up with somebody or whatever it is. So if you know that's what you're doing, then either say, okay, I don't care if my wife gets mad, I want to take another shot with the porn girl, or catch yourself and go, fuck it, man, I know my motives are just to get back with this porn girl, and things are good with my wife, it's not worth fucking up. As long as you know why you're doing it. But the worst thing is when I tell myself I'm doing something for reasons, the other reasons, like I always tell myself I'm doing things for wrong reasons. Like, no, I'm doing it for this or I'm doing it for that. And when I lie to myself like that, or I tell myself what is safer to hear, that's when I get in trouble, because I walk in with my fucking, leading by my dick or my stupid nose instead of thinking things through,
Most definitely.
So, yeah, at least you know. Jimmy. All right, Daddy, I'm curious as to who she is, so good luck with that.
All right.
All right, buddy. Let's see. Edward in New Jersey, you caught your wife lying about something that could cause her to lose her job. Oh, what kind of job does she have?
I got to be a little vague, so forgive me because someone else will figure it out. But the point is that we both have jobs that we get tested at, all right? Hers is one where, let's just say, she's got authority over pretty much everybody else. And what happened was we've been through hell together for 10 years, but we've always gotten through it one way or another. We're great together, but a while ago, like, I walked into the house, and when we're not working, because we've had time off to the disability, we would both smoke weed, and it was never a problem. The only reason we don't is because we have jobs that we get tested. And, I walked into the house, and you know how unmistakable the smell is. I walk into the house while we're both working, and I'm like, I smell it. Like, it has to be here. And I thought it might be left over from a while ago that, and I went searching for it. And long story short, she lied to my face for about a month smoking, and, I finally pressed it to her, and, she came out with it. We basically did as good of a job as we could to, get through it. But here's the problem now, that since then, and the ironic thing is she hadn't been randomed in, years, but she gets random right after she quits, and she had to use one of those kits to get past it. I mean, it was so scary. Like, she told me she got tested, and, my heart dropped into my stomach, and I'm like, oh, shit. Our lives, that lifetime job is over, and, I've been good. Like, I don't cheat. I don't smoke when I'm working, and that's just it. And the thing is that in her previous marriage, when it went bad, she cheated a lot, and, I don't think she has with me, but now because I caught her lying straight to my face, the first time I've ever think she lied to me, I can't believe a fucking word she says it.
Yeah. Now let me ask you. So she knows she was lying?
Oh no, we had it all out. She knows she was lying. She admitted it to me, and but the thing is that the bitch of it was, I caught her once, and she said, "Okay, I'm done," and I threw the shit out, and we were over. She went back out and got some more after we had already been through the big fight. And I was good. I didn't yell. I was just like, listen, you're doing this because something's wrong. What's up? Like, there's got to be something serious if you're getting this bad that you're risking it now.
Right.
And, I went through with her, and I thought everything was over. I caught her fucking again. So basically it was like lying twice in a row within a month. And now, I know her. We've been together a long time. So when she says something to me and, I smell inconsistencies in her routine or something, because of her history with the last marriage, I'm like, I can't get over the suspicion, and I'm so. It's been like 2 months since it's been over, but I can't get over the feeling that I just want to leave now because I don't think I can ever trust her again. And of course, at the same fucking time, my ex, who I was engaged with, who is hot and has an awesome job and everything I could possibly want, she smells it on me, and she's been like planting hints, and I'm not going to do anything about it. But it's just, I don't know how I can trust her ever again now that I just caught her twice lying about that.
Yeah, that's hard, man. The only thing I can suggest is to tell her, without being accusing or angry, like, look, I'm having a hard time with this, I'm trying, and just talk things through with her. Like, if you come at her nasty, she'll probably be defensive and you'll fight. But if you literally just say it nicely, like, look, I'm not trying to accuse you, I'm just saying I'm having a hard time with this, maybe she'll talk it through with you. And I don't know. I mean, it's hard if you're married to someone and they're lying about some shit like that, because you're not her boss, you're her husband. She should be able to tell you the truth about anything.
And for the longest time, she always has. I mean, we know, both of us know 100% about everything. Like, all of our dark secrets have been pulled out over the years, and it's out in the open. And the other bitch of it was, like I said, we both will hang out with our exes, right?
Sure.
And it's at this point the thing was that the ex is the person who gave it to her, gave the stuff to her. So now I was extra pissed off, that I'm trusting her. She's hanging out with her ex. She lets me hang out with my ex, and we're still friends and everything. And I want, not only, like, I have to resist that irresponsible, stupid guy urge, but I want to kick his fucking ass. And I have to, and I got to worry, like, it was her ex. Like, what the fuck was she doing that night?
Yeah, maybe if you're having a hard time with it, maybe you guys don't hang out with the exes for a little while.
What's that?
Maybe you shouldn't hang out with the exes for a little while.
Oh, no, that's done. Like, I already laid down the law with that. I haven't spoken to him. But when we were working it out, when it was all going down, like I said, no, don't even text, don't call, don't do nothing for a while, because he should have known better. Okay. He's a person where he knows enough about it. He knows her job. Like he should have known better than to give it to her.
Right. Well, she's an adult. All right, man. I would just suggest talking to her nicely, telling her you're having a hard time. That's all you can do.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it some time.
All right. Good luck, buddy. Bye, mister. Craig in Arizona. I'm not sure if I said this. What's up, buddy?
Hey, Jimmy. Hey, I'm a fan who, I guess I still secretly hope that the old O&A show will get back together one of these days, because I just miss having all you guys in the same room. A few weeks ago, I think the exact words you used were that behind the scenes it was like a sinking ship. And I was actually listening to some of the older stuff that's available on YouTube. In fact, it was like the Lady Di internship week, which is that same year that Anthony got fired. And like, as a fan, like, you literally can't hear any of the tension, or at least I can't hear any of the tension that was supposedly going on in the studio with you guys. And I was just wondering, like, was it really that bad, like, leading up to Anthony getting fired? I guess
it's sorry to interrupt you. I remember it being okay at that point. Opie says that he was having major problems with Ant all the way through. And again, I wasn't inside of his head. But, dude, sometimes I noticed it and sometimes I didn't. Like, there were times where it was really bad and I would see it, even as it led up, but it wouldn't be like a consistent thing. And it would be little things like the way they looked at each other or the way they snipped at each other. But there were plenty of times where, again, I was shocked that it made it 10 years, considering how volatile the show is and the decisions that the show has made that were crazy over the years. The two different types of personalities. Opie's married guy with kids, Ant's a drunk, you know what I mean? And I'm saying that kind of affectionately, not nasty. But they just had different lives. One's throwing wild parties on the weekend and one wants to go to the beach and mellow out. It's just a different people.
Yeah.
So undercurrent of hate might be a little bit strong, but there was definitely discord. And Ope has said, since then that he felt left out of the show. So that might have explained some of where his negative feelings were coming from. But it was a weird situation, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, and I understand that too. I mean, like, I think all you guys had your role to play. But I mean, you and Anthony are two of the funniest guys on the planet, and I can see it being hard to keep up with you guys. I understand Opie's role. I'm not saying he's, I'm not saying he's a douche or anything like that for not being as funny as like two of the funniest people on the planet. Most people aren't. But, so, I hate all the hate that Opie gets now because, like, I mean, he really did build the show as far as I'm concerned. But so I just wanted to ask him, do you think? I mean, maybe you don't have a crystal ball, but do you think there is ever a chance, or is it just too much water in the bridge between those two, especially at this point for the show?
I don't know. Neither one of them has. They've said some rotten shit about each other, but I don't think either one has dropped an atomic bomb. I think they've thrown some hard punches, but no one has thrown like a baseball bat to the face that is unforgivable. The problem with those guys is it's hard sometimes for us to see our part in things. Like, you know what I mean? Like, both guys will go like, yeah, I understand what my part was, sure. And they could probably write it down on paper. But it's like in a relationship, understanding, like really feeling how I fucked up and where I was wrong and seeing myself as other people see me is not always easy. So if both of those guys like approach it a little bit differently and go, okay, Opie did some fucked up shit or Ant did some fucked up shit, but Jesus Christ, look what I did. And really owning that. I think once you own your own shit, then you can forgive the other person a little bit, or at least see where they were coming from. But if both guys are kind of feeling victimized by the other guy or wronged by the other guy, it's hard. You know what I mean? That's why divorces get so fucking horribly nasty. Like, you wonder why people go to court and they were in love once and they fight it out and they literally fight tooth and nail for every penny. It's because of usually that unwillingness for both people to see what they did that's fucked up. And it's hard for me to do. Like, I just happen to not be Opie or Anthony. But in my own life, it's easy for me to sit here and fucking sound like the sage or, a fucking problem solver, shit talker, idiot that I am. But when I'm in a relationship, I almost always see it my own way. It's only like when I look back on it that I can go like, wow, Jim, you were fucked up. So, you know what I mean? So there is always a shot. Look, Guns N' Roses are touring together again. There's no way Opie and Anthony had the bad blood that Guns N' Roses did or fucking other bands. There's no lawsuits between Opie and Anthony. They didn't take each other to court. You know what I mean? There's a lot of shit that they didn't do. They had a bad month or a couple of months and that was the end of it. They haven't been blasting each other in the press for years. Yeah. They didn't get into a fist fight. So I do think there's always hope. If those guys even want to do that at this point, I don't know.
Cool. My phone's dead, Jim, but thanks, man. I appreciate the answer, dude. So I'll not kill your show. But thanks, dude.
Thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it. Let's see here. How about Jason in Boston?
Hello, Jimmy?
Hey, buddy.
Yeah, your phone wasn't your... Anyway. Jesus, my life sounds pretty good after listening to some of these people. I think one of those kids probably painted his mother's basement with the back of his head. Holy
yeah, I mean, you get some interesting calls, but, no one's that crazy today.
I guess my question is, I'm a stand-up comic trying to, get, I've been in the Boston scene, so I figure I'm kind of in the right place. And, been hitting all the open mics. I really want to get in the Boston Comedy Festival this year. I talked to Rick Jenkins. I don't know if you know Ricky.
I don't know Rick.
He owns the comedy studio in Boston.
Wait a minute. Is that upstairs above like a...
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, I think I did that room. It was actually really fun.
Yeah. Ross was just there the other night. I hung out with him for a while. That was fun. Okay. But yeah. So I mean, you're a seasoned veteran. I've been watching you since 96. I'd say at least. What would you say? I mean, any advice?
Well, I don't know how the Boston Comedy Festival works, because I've never done anything there. For me, how long are you doing it?
I've been doing stand-up for probably, over probably about a year now. And I've got some real solid stuff. I mean, I've been a smart ass my whole life, and everyone has told me my entire life I should have done stand-up, but I just never did.
Now you're doing it. That's great.
Yeah, I was fucked up on drugs forever, and I've been sober for be a year next week, and yeah, but fuck me, I shouldn't have done drugs. My life would have been much better if I didn't. So, just trying to get my shit in order, and it seems to be falling in place since I've got off the sauce. So
I would say this, dude, you're new to comedy. If you're doing it for a year, usually with festivals, like I never got into them by audition, like Montreal and They never, the fucking festivals never wanted anything to do with me. So maybe if you're only doing it a year, maybe say, I'm not going to rush into a festival. Like, give it a little bit more time. If you already called the guy, if you called Rick, or if you talk to you might want to talk to someone there and go, who do I talk to? Because I just don't have a name for you. Yeah. But you should definitely ask somebody up there what they would do. And don't be discouraged if you don't get in, dude. It's your first year. So I didn't get in for years. They fucking said no to me. And it made me like vindictive in the point, like, fuck them. They will eventually let me in. I'm going to be a better comedian. And I became a better comic. Like, you know, I worked, just don't let it discourage you. That's all I'm going to say. Just continue doing it. Because there's nothing more pathetic than a lazy comic. Like, so if you're working and you're trying and you're getting on stage, you're doing the right thing. So just, if it doesn't happen this year, it'll happen next year or the year after. But just don't get impatient and then resentful, okay?
Yeah, no, I definitely I'm not. And I mean, I wrote 90 jokes in a month and a half that I've got down.
Okay. Well, so how many of them are good? How many of them are good?
I mean, I don't think any of them are good, but they're getting laughs.
Okay.
I haven't tried all of them out because I'm only getting 3 to 5 minutes a shot. So sure. I'm going up tonight to go do another open mic. And it's kind of a little competition. There's like a $50 whatever fucking gift certificate at the end of it. So we'll see how I do. So, but yeah, I think I need to slow down. I talk too fast is my main thing.
I did that too. It was a sign of nerves. I think Louis said, excuse me, I just coughed. I think Louis said, if you're on TV and you think you're going too slow, slow down. Like, that's the advice. Don't worry. If you're talking too quickly, it's probably because you're a little nervous. So just understand that's what it is. And sometimes, like when I'm at the Comedy Cellar, I talk purposefully slow, because I have to have the words work. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't,
yeah.
Just make sure you slow down and tape yourself. Okay, buddy?
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jimmy.
Good luck, man.
Thanks, buddy. I love you.
All right. Thanks, pal. I appreciate that. It's funny. I was just thinking, like, who's like legitimately crazy? Steven Singer. Yes. The I Hate Steven Singer guy. He's plumb crazy, actually. I just made that up. That's Steven Singer's brand new exclusive rose color for Mother's Day. I mean, I'm not even doing a live read. I'm just improvising something I thought of. You got to show your mom that you're plumb crazy. There I go, tying it in again. Plumb crazy about her with one of his famous 24-karat gold-dipped roses. This new rose, it's a deep plum color, not a shitty, shallow plum color. A deep plum color, like a heavy testicle, full of love for mother, with tiny sparkles that make it shine like a diamond. And it's only $59. A gift that lasts forever, for fuck's sake. Only $59, shipped for free. That's $0 in shipping with your own personalized Mother's Day card. It even comes with a gorgeous gold gift box with a lifetime guarantee. That's a lot. So don't shoot yourself tomorrow, or I guess the guarantee's over. You gotta live along. Make Steven earn it. You'd have to be plumb crazy. Why do I keep tying it in? I'm just so fucking good at this. To miss out on Steven's exclusive brand new Mother's Day rose, and it's almost sold out. Go out now to IHateStevenSinger.com. This new rose is going to sell out. They sell out every year, the new colors, and then you fucking bitch and you moan. Don't be fooled by the fakes that don't have free shipping and a lifetime guarantee. They're shit. Make sure you go to IHateStevenSinger.com. It's the perfect gift at the perfect price. Your mom, mother-in-law, grandma, wife, any hole. They're going to go plumb crazy about this gift from Steven Singer Jewelers. The perfect gift at the perfect price. One place, one price, Steven Singer Jewelers. If you're on the phone, if you hate the internet, maybe you're one of these people, the FBI is watching you because you are file trading with Jared F. at Subway.com, 888-IHateStevenSinger.com, or if you happen to be a fucking agoraphobic and you hate people and you hate leaving the house, go online, IHateStevenSinger.com. Don't be plumb crazy. I love tying things in like that. Sorry, I don't know why I did that. I just went off on a tangent once in a while. I'll just do that. Who knows? Let's see. Ethan in Ohio.
Hey, Jim. How are you, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, so I listen to the show pretty much every morning, and I hear when you're going on tours and when you're coming back, you know, you say you love that peace and quiet, and, you know, you just kind of want a moment to yourself, it sounds like. I work at 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, and when it comes, whenever I have free time, I am just stuck at the house.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even get myself to go out and do anything. It's like I'm exhausted. Saturday, Sunday, blowing out friends just to kind of lay around. Do you have any advice to kind of break that slump, to get back into a groove?
Yeah, just go out with friends. Like, a lot of times, like when it comes to feeling shitty, I want to think my way into feeling good, and then I'll do some good actions. But usually what happens is if I do the action first, like if I go out and start hanging with friends, then I start feeling better. Like there's been times where I feel like, I'm going to go on one of my porn binges, or I feel depressed, or I just feel self-loathing, or whatever it is fucking people go through. And I'll just go, get out of the house, dipshit. I'll literally say to myself, get the fuck up and walk. And I give myself credit for those little dumb moments. Like, hey man, today was productive. I went and did this, or I made this phone call that I had to make for work, or I went down and whatever. I went to the bank, or I went and picked up my dry cleaning. Like little shit. Sometimes you got to give yourself credit for just not lounging around doing nothing. I think that that's one way to do it, but don't wait to feel good and then do things. Do the action. Do the action first, and the good feelings will probably come after it.
Okay, yeah, 'cause, it's to the point where I'm just, 'cause I go to work, I'm fine, I'm a happy guy. It's just when I get home, is there ever a point where, everybody says you need to go out, you need to do this, you need to do that. Is there a healthy balance between, listen, I'm just going to stay in, or, blowing off somebody to, not go out? Or,
of course. Yeah, there's always a healthy balance. Sure. I mean, a healthy balance is pretty easy to find. You don't have to go out every 10 minutes. Like some people just never slow down.
Yeah.
And you got to go out and relax a little bit. You don't have to be a maniac about it. But I would say you don't have to, there's a difference between lounging around in a depressed, just being a big sloth sitting around the house. And fucking, and then going out and act like you're Mickey Rourke and Barfly. Maybe you find a balance. Go out one night and see how you feel.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
All right, you little doll. What's up, Tyler in Florida?
What's up, Jimmy? Great advice so far.
Oh, I just give the best I can. Hello.
I would correct you a little bit on that young talented male who wants to go out to the festival gig. So I'd recommend trying to get in as many hours as possible, even if he sucks. It's experience, right?
Oh yeah, I agree as well. But I'm saying that don't be crazy if you can't get into the festival. I'm saying going on stage as much as possible. But the problem with festivals
but if you can get on the bill, then go for it.
But I agree. But sometimes you got to be careful that you're not seen too soon. Because if you're in your first year and a club owner sees you, or there's a lot of bookers there, and you're too new, and the pressure of the festival, or you're following a guy who's a headliner on the road, and you bomb, that's the only first time they'll ever see you. And if you had waited a year, you might have been a little stronger. But look,
that's definitely a good point, especially on a big event like that. You're right, absolutely.
Yeah, but look, I wish the young man luck.
Yes, as do I. So on to my set of problems here.
Sure.
All right, so I'm a 27-year-old male. I'm very successful for my age. My wife, she's 31. She's hot as fuck. She's very successful, very smart woman, very attractive, as I mentioned. Yet I don't know what to do with myself because I feel as though I have some type of nymphomaniac gene. And I am very attracted to a multitude of different women. And I just can't seem to get it out of my system. And it's probably because I wasn't able to get it out of my system when I was growing up, so to speak. So just wanted to hear your advice in regards to this.
Yeah, sometimes, man, I'm just greedy. Sometimes it's just being greedy and grabbing for more than my share of everything. That's a part of it. It's harder to not look, does your wife have sex with you when you want to?
Yeah, she's very accommodating, at least 3 to 4 times a week, and then she just finishes me off in other ways. So,
Right. So at least you're getting off. It's not like you're being deprived at home.
Right.
Are you cheating on her?
Even during the day when No, I'm not. I have never done that. And just the thought of that, I feel would crush her. But just like during the day when I'm at my office, I'm just like, I get distracted, and then I'm into like extreme horny mode, and that's all I think about. I go on with the fucking webcam girls. And I'm thinking about like, oh, next time I go to this country, maybe I'll have this girl on call. It's out of the country. I guess it'll be okay. So I have thoughts like this kind of going through my head right now, and it's kind of a crazy time for me. And that's kind of where things stand.
Yeah, that's what you should probably avoid doing. It's like if you're getting really horny and it's driving you crazy, then don't go to those sites because they just make it worse. Like, you know what I mean? Whenever I'm feeling horny, the last thing I need to do is go look at a cam girl because that's not going to help me not be horny. So maybe if you stop doing that, you won't be as horny, and it'll be a little bit easier for you to manage.
Act of ejaculation is what fuels me as a person. I'm really beginning to think that.
Yes, believe me, sir, I understand the attraction to coming. I enjoy it myself.
Obviously.
It's a hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a music producer. I own my own record label, and when I hit the busy work, it always helps to toss one off and maybe have a few puffs of weed here and there, and then get into the work. Otherwise, I'm just not the businessman that I need to be.
How old are you?
I'm 27, but again, I don't want to reveal too much, but I am really successful for my age.
Okay, well, you're in your 20s. That's pretty normal. Hey, look, Randy, you got a high sex drive. I would just say cut a little bit of the porn if you can, because that won't make you as distracted. But as long as you're only fucking your wife and getting off with her, it's not that bad, dude. I mean, there's a lot worse problems to have than just being horny all the time.
For sure.
Just don't feed into it and make it worse. That's all. If it's bothering you, if you like living that way, then keep doing it. But if it's like fucking with you and you're like, fuck, man, it's distracting me from business, then just don't go on. Just don't do some of the things that are distracting you. It's easier said than done, but I mean, that's the only way to not look at cam girls is to not go links to look at cam girls.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not a huge problem. I've only been really doing that for like a couple months. Probably every addict says that, but yeah, it's not a huge ordeal. The wife said she would be down for some threesome action. I'm a pretty isolated dude. I mean, you're in comedy, I'm in music. It's,
Sure.
You know how things can get. You're constantly alone, constantly writing. I don't even know how to set this up, and it seems like she might be down for it at the same time if I do set something like this up. And she even suggested possibly a prostitute. I really don't even know how to initiate going about this without like fucking up the relationship or hurting her feelings. Do you have any advice in regards to that?
Maybe you guys could talk about it and say ask her what kind of girl would she want? What would she want to do? Let her take the lead, and then maybe join alt.com or fetlife.com or one of them where you're looking for threesomes, or Thrinder, which I think is threesome on Tinder or some shit. There's plenty of places like a couple can go to find girls for a threesome. That's not that hard to find. Do you know what I mean? That's a very, very findable thing. So at least you'll be in luck whenever your wife's ready. You'll have no problem finding something.
Well, I hope your advice helps.
Yeah, good luck, man. Enjoy.
Thank you.
All right, goodbye. Let's see here. JJ in New Hampshire has a good problem. What's up, JJ?
Hey, Jimmy. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Hey, so just out of here.
Got your phone crapped out, buddy. Sorry about that. We got to drop you. Ray in North Carolina. What's up, Ray?
Hey, Jimmy. How you doing?
Good. How are you, sir?
Love your show.
Thank you very much.
Just heard you earlier mention something about Time Warner, since you couldn't get to your other services in your apartment. Just want to offer my services. I'm actually direct sales for Time Warner. Would love to give you my information offline. Like a dummy, I put my email address on your Twitter. I deleted that quickly because I know how the listeners can be. But I would love to give you my info and see what I can do for you.
Thanks. That's really nice of you, Ray. It's therealjimnorton@gmail.com if you want to email me.
I surely will.
All right. Thank you. That's really nice.
Love your morning show. Love this show. Love everything you do, man.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate it.
All right. Bye.
Take care. Janet in New York. Hi. Damn it. Janet. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. Well, I'm calling you about my son. He's 22 years old. And he hasn't wrecked his life, but he has changed the course of it in a big way. He was an Army ROTC student, and he failed a drug test and got kicked out of ROTC, kicked out of the Army, had to pay back a large sum of money, and then he just stopped going to college, and he's just, in my mind, kind of circling the drain. And I don't know why. I don't know how to help him.
What did they catch him with?
Marijuana.
Wow, they kick you out of everything for being on pot?
Yeah, they do. I mean, it's not an automatic disenrollment, but it's almost always is. He did have a hearing. We find out the results of that. But basically, he said he wasn't even sure he wants that anymore.
Okay.
And also, he didn't make the right decisions when he got caught. He didn't demand that the test be taken over, retaken, or he was so freaked out when he got caught that he just signed off on everything instead of advocating for himself. But now he's just floundering. Like, he was going to take some classes to make sure he could get back into school in the fall and kind of salvage whatever he could from it. And then he just stopped going to those. And he's just in this crazy spiral.
Yeah.
And when I try to help him, it feels like I'm imposing my will on him.
He's depressed. How long ago did this happen?
This happened in, like, November. And so he gets kicked out of school. He doesn't go back. He's going to take this past spring semester off and just kind of get his head together.
He doesn't need to get his head. Getting your head together is overrated. You know, we all say that, but again, it comes down to a lot of times just taking the next right step. You know, a month or so off is understandable, but it's kind of hard when you get caught doing something or when you fuck up to just, like, I always talk with the weight loss, when you put a few pounds on, you got to stop the bleeding. Sometimes when things are going wrong, you just have to stop and stand in the stink of it and go, okay, I fucked up. This is where I am right now. I made a dumb mistake. It cost me something. That happens. Again, it could always be worse. It wasn't like he did coke and plowed into a cop who was writing a ticket for someone else and the cop died or lost his legs. Like, there's so many worse ways to get caught on a drug test. He fucked up, but he could still continue with college. Somebody once said to me when I was really young, hey man, you have to think whenever you have a problem, in 10 years will this matter? Like when I'm dating a girl and she breaks up with me, or any of these like woes that we go through that seem like forever. In 10 years, will it matter? Probably not. So this will just be something he looks back on when he's in his 30s, if he just does the right thing now. So yeah, I think he's just depressed. Is he doing drugs?
I think, yeah. I mean, I don't know how big of a problem that it is, and I don't know how big of a space it's taking up in his life, but I know that he's not done wrecking shit. I just feel it. Like, he's had so many opportunities to turn this around, to do, as you said, face it with the love and support of his family. Like, we were like, you screwed up, and we're disappointed, but we love you, and let's make this better right now. And he's had a lot of opportunities and a lot of really, like, come to Jesus conversations with me, and he walked away from it, and within a week, he's just being a jerk.
Yeah. Well, again, you can only do so much. He's 22. You hope that one of these times he'll actually take the right step. Does he work?
He does. Yeah, he's working. I mean, he's working as a waiter right now. And I think he's going to work. I mean, the thing is that I think that I'm at this point that I need to say, I can't be a part of this decision that you're making anymore. I need to stop paying for your phone, and you have to start paying your own car insurance, because
yes,
I'm not going to be a party to you not fixing this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's fair.
I'm afraid to do that, because when I do that, then he has to get a full-time job, and he has to work full-time, and then he's never going to want to go back to college.
Yeah, but it's not, you're not giving him an irrational decision right away. He may want to go back to college. If he gets a job and it's shitty and he has to be there every day and listen to some douchey boss, maybe he will go back to work.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I have to stop shielding himself and myself from the reality of the choices that he's making, because I can't control it.
Yeah, I mean, he made a shitty decision. He got in trouble. He made shitty decisions after he got caught. He's making shitty decisions now. You can't make them for him. You're giving him the option of living at home, but saying, I'm not going to pay for your phone is very fair. You shouldn't pay for his phone.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to just keep on keeping on. Thanks.
All right. Good luck. Yeah, I just think that's what would have worked on me when I was a young man. I have 1 minute. Travis in Nevada got a problem with his sister. Sorry to rush you, buddy. I just saw your call. Hello.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing as she was just talking about. It's with my older sister. She's 3 years older than me. She's 25. I'm 23, and she just broke up with her boyfriend of 9 years, and now she's getting into drugs and all that other kind of shit, trying to, she didn't really have time to do it when she was younger. And I don't know what to, I've tried everything to tell her what to, come back home and stop trying to be a party girl and go back to college and shit. And I just don't know what to say to her about it,
How old is she?
She's 25, and she's right out of high school. She went to college, and she still hasn't graduated yet. You know, because she's doing well, support herself and everything, but she's starting to, you know, get in the phase of trying to be like a party girl. And she's not a 21-year-old girl in fucking college. You know, she's too old to be doing that shit.
You know, I find when people do stuff like that, I have a real hands-off approach, but which again may be wrong. But I always try to let someone know that I'm there for them if they want to talk to me, or I offer to talk to them or go, hey, are you okay? And if they're just like, yeah, I'm good. And if I can't get through, you don't want to push her to the point of all of a sudden, like, she's like not picking up your calls anymore, because then you're isolated from her.
Like resenting me because I'm just, all I do is talk shit or whatever about it.
Yeah, like, just realize, look, this is where she's at right now. You have zero control over it. You've told her how you feel. That's really all you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's not much you can do. She's an adult. So you don't have to be around her when she's acting like that.
We're all just worried about her, you know, trying to do what's best for her. We're trying to get her to move back home to our hometown, because we're all, you know, I'm very successful for my age, and I could, you know, help support her while she goes through school and doesn't have to stress about money and all that other shit. And
well, she knows that offer is there. She knows that offer is there, so you can only hope that she takes it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's all you can do.
Yeah.
The offer's there. She knows it's there. All you can do is hope that she takes it, okay? I got to run, buddy, because we're definitely over. I apologize.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank you guys for all of your calls, and I will see you next week. What a bunch of fun gang. Oh, what a bunch of fun gang. Oh, worthless piece of shit radio ending that was. Goodbye.
Thanks for listening to The Jim Norton Show. Hear all that advice whenever you want to on demand at SiriusXM.com.